On a calm night, under a sky full of stars, a gentle breeze drifted through the valley. The sounds of nature created a tranquil symphony, as if the world were in perfect harmony. But in this serenity, there was also a sense of mystery and anticipation, as if something ancient and powerful was about to be revealed. This is a night to reflect on profound questions, on the prophecies and legacies left by beings who, according to tradition, walked among us long ago. The Nephilim, a race mentioned in ancient scriptures, have been a subject of fascination and speculation. What do we truly know about them, and what can their prophecies tell us about the future of humanity? One of the most intriguing stories about the Nephilim reveals that they were not merely giants or strange beings, but entities who possessed profound knowledge and a connection to the divine. When we speak of Nephilim prophecies, we enter a territory that goes beyond the physical. The narrative of the Nephilim leads us to reflect on human nature, the challenges we face, and the paths we can choose. Tradition speaks of 7 prophecies that encompass the destiny of humanity, and each one echoes through time, as if they were messages left for us, waiting to be deciphered. The first prophecy of the Nephilim speaks of union. This prophecy suggests that, in times of great crisis, humans will need to join forces, overcome their differences, and work together to face the challenges that will arise. History teaches us that division and conflict breed destruction, while collaboration and understanding can create opportunities for renewal. This message resonates strongly in our current world, where divisions seem to intensify daily. Union is the key to survival. The second prophecy speaks of wisdom. The Nephilim, with their advanced knowledge, warn us about the importance of seeking truth and wisdom. We live in an age of information, but not all information is true. The ability to discern between what is real and what is illusory is crucial. This prophecy invites us to deepen our understanding of the world, to question what is presented to us, and to seek the knowledge that will lead us to a better future. The third prophecy addresses transformation. It suggests that significant changes lie ahead. These changes may be uncomfortable, but they are necessary for growth. The history of humanity is marked by periods of great transformation, and often it is in adversity that we find the opportunity to be reborn. This prophecy encourages us to embrace change, to see each challenge as a chance for personal and collective evolution. The fourth prophecy deals with responsibility. The Nephilim remind us that we are responsible not only for our actions, but also for the impact they have on the world around us. Every choice we make, every decision we take, has consequences. This prophecy urges us to act with consciousness, to care for the planet and each other, recognizing that our existence is interconnected. The fifth prophecy speaks of hope. In times of darkness, hope is the light that guides us. The Nephilim urge us never to lose faith in the future, to believe that no matter how difficult the circumstances, there is always room for hope and renewal. This message is particularly relevant in moments of uncertainty, when darkness seems densest. Hope is what keeps us moving, what gives us the strength to keep fighting. The sixth prophecy addresses spiritual connection. The Nephilim were known for their link to the divine, and this prophecy invites us to explore our own spirituality. Connection with the sacred, whether through meditation, prayer, or contemplation, is vital for our mental and emotional health. In such a restless world, finding moments of silence and introspection can help us discover inner peace and reconnect with our essence. The seventh and final prophecy speaks of legacy. The Nephilim teach us that our actions today shape the future we leave for generations to come. What are we doing now? What stories are we telling? Each of us has the power to leave a legacy, and this prophecy challenges us to consider what we want our lives to represent. As we delve deeper into these prophecies, it's impossible not to feel a sense of urgency. The call to action resonates in each of them, urging us to reflect on how we can apply these teachings in our lives. We live in a world full of challenges, but also opportunities. Now, as night advances and the starlight intensifies in the sky, I invite you to relax and reflect on these messages from the Nephilim.
take a moment to reconnect with yourself.
Breathe deeply and allow each of these prophecies to penetrate your consciousness. What do they mean to you? How can you bring this wisdom into your daily life? The journey is still far from over. In the coming chapters, we will explore each of these prophecies more deeply and their implications for the future of humanity. But for now, let us allow ourselves a moment of pause. Close your eyes if you are comfortable and feel the gravity of your presence in the world. Imagine yourself surrounded by the vastness of the night sky, where the secrets of the universe await to be revealed. Let the peace of the night envelop you as the stars twinkle softly, as if beckoning to you, inviting you to dream and to explore the mysteries that surround us. Now, as your mind begins to rest, remember that the prophecies of the Nephilim are not just stories from the past. They are guides for the present and for the future. With each breath, allow these ideas to intertwine within your being. And so, as we prepare to delve deeper into the teachings of the Nephilim, may the tranquility of the night accompany us, bringing clarity and inspiration for the journey ahead. The future awaits us, and the answers we seek may be closer than we imagine. Wisdom is one of the most valuable gifts we can cultivate in our lives. The second prophecy of the Nephilim reminds us that the pursuit of truth is not merely an intellectual journey, but a deeply spiritual experience. In times when misinformation spreads rapidly, it is vital that we become adept at critical analysis and personal reflection. The Nephilim, with their transcendental knowledge, invite us to look beyond appearances and question the reality that surrounds us. That we become adept at critical analysis and personal reflection. The Nephilim, with transcendental knowledge, invite us to look beyond appearances and question reality. Wisdom, traditionally, isn't just information, but a deep understanding of universal interconnections. This teaches decisions have repercussions beyond the immediate. Each action ripples, affecting ourselves, community, and the world. Thus, this prophecy urges responsible action, considering consequences and aligning with ethical values, promoting collective well-being. The third Nephilim prophecy addresses transformation, suggesting significant changes are coming, requiring adaptability. Nephilim narratives describe their ability to transform and evolve, reflecting their divine connection.
This idea is pertinent today as we face challenges demanding innovation and creativity. Reinvention is essential for navigating uncertain times. Transformation links to acceptance. Embracing life's changes is crucial for growth. Resisting change often traps us in suffering. This prophecy encourages seeing change as opportunities for evolution, not obstacles. The fourth Nephilim prophecy speaks of protection. In an uncertain world, this message brings comfort. Nephilim, guardians of knowledge and wisdom, remind us of greater forces. This protection extends beyond physical to emotional, spiritual well-being. Cultivating inner security is vital. Protection manifests through healthy connections, mutual support, and caring communities. This prophecy prompts reflection. How can we protect each other? In crises, it's our responsibility to reach out, offer support, and foster safe, valued environments. Protection is a collective and individual responsibility. By caring for others, we strengthen our resilient support network. The fifth prophecy addresses balance. Nephilim, with profound knowledge, teach us life's interconnectedness and that balance is fundamental for harmony. In a modern world often driven by relentless productivity, this message is more relevant than ever. Balance isn't just equal time for work and leisure, it's harmony between body, mind, and spirit. Seeking balance means addressing holistic needs, physical, mental, emotional health, plus practicing gratitude and self-care. The Nephilim, highlighting balance, show true success isn't merely external achievements, but finding inner peace and contentment. The Nephilim, in warning us about the importance of balance, show us that true success is not merely a matter of external achievements, but of finding inner peace and contentment. The sixth prophecy speaks of hope. Hope is a powerful force that can guide us through darkness and uncertainty. The Nephilim remind us that even in the most difficult moments, we must cultivate hope and faith in the future. This prophecy teaches us that hope is a fuel that allows us to keep moving forward, even when paths seem obscure. Throughout human history, there have always been periods of crisis and despair. However, it is precisely in these moments that hope shines most brightly. The ability to believe that better days will come and that we can overcome challenges is fundamental to human resilience. Hope is not a denial of reality, but an affirmation that, despite difficulties, we can find light and meaning. Finally, the seventh prophecy of the Nephilim speaks to us of unity. This prophecy is a call to action, an invitation for all of us, regardless of our differences, to unite for a common purpose. Unity reminds us that we are part of something greater, that we are all interconnected in ways we often don't perceive. In a divided world, this message is a powerful reminder that solidarity is the key to peace and prosperity. Uniting forces for a common goal is what will allow us to face the challenges that arise. When we work together, we can achieve feats that would seem impossible if we tried alone. Unity is not just an abstract idea, but a daily practice. By embracing and supporting one another, we create a network of love and understanding that nurtures our common humanity. As we reflect on these prophecies, we are invited to consider how they apply to our lives today. What do union, wisdom, transformation, protection, balance, hope, and unity mean to us? The journey of the Nephilim offers us not only a vision of the past, but also a compass for the future. Each prophecy is an opportunity for deep reflection and conscious action. By connecting with these truths, we can become agents of change in our world. The stories of the Nephilim are not merely relics of a distant past. They are beacons of hope, guiding us towards a brighter, more meaningful future. Let us allow these messages to resonate in our hearts and minds as we continue on our journey, always seeking truth and light along the way. In a world where darkness threatens to surround us, the prophecies of the Nephilim call us to awaken to our own capacity to create a better tomorrow. The second prophecy speaks of wisdom. The Nephilim, with their advanced knowledge, warn us about the importance of seeking truth and wisdom. We live in an age where information is abundantly available, but true wisdom is rare. Often, we are bombarded by opinions and data that do not necessarily lead us to deep understanding. Wisdom, according to the teachings of the Nephilim, is not merely accumulating information, but being able to discern what is truly significant and valuable. This prophecy invites us to reflect on our choices, to question the voices around us, and to seek knowledge that brings us closer to the essence of life. This prophecy invites us to reflect on our choices, to question the voices around us, and to seek knowledge that brings us closer to the essence of life. The third prophecy addresses transformation. The Nephilim remind us that change is a constant in our existence. Transformation can be challenging and even painful, but it is also an opportunity for growth. In times of difficulty, many feel lost, but the prophecy suggests that it is in this scenario that new possibilities can emerge. By embracing transformation, we not only accept the flow of life, but we can also reinvent ourselves, adapting to new realities. This message is especially pertinent in the current context, where rapid changes in the world demand resilience and innovation. The fourth prophecy speaks about responsibility. The Nephilim taught us that with knowledge and power also comes the responsibility to protect and care for the world we inhabit. This prophecy echoes in our relationship with the environment, communities, and future generations. The way we choose to act today will shape the legacy we leave behind. Ignoring this responsibility can result in devastating consequences. The message is clear. We must act with compassion and consciousness, always considering the impact of our actions. Every small gesture counts, and the unity of efforts can generate significant changes. The fifth prophecy is about love. The Nephilim believed that love is a powerful force that can overcome barriers and heal wounds. In times of despair and conflict, the capacity to love and show empathy can be salvation. This prophecy reminds us that love is not just a feeling, but an active choice we must make, even in the face of adversity. To love means being willing to put the needs of others ahead of our own, promoting peace and harmony. In a world often marked by divisions, this message is a beacon of hope. The sixth prophecy addresses vision. The Nephilim teach us that it is essential to have a clear vision for the future. Having a vision is not just dreaming, it is also charting a path and setting goals that guide us. Vision allows us to see beyond the immediate and helps us focus on what truly matters. In a world full of distractions, this prophecy is a call for us to concentrate on what we wish to achieve. By nurturing a strong and clear vision, we are capable of creating a future that reflects our values and aspirations. The seventh and final prophecy speaks about connection.
The Nephilim remind us that we are all interconnected. Our actions, thoughts, and feelings have an impact not only on our lives, but also on the lives of those around us. This prophecy invites us to recognize the web of life that unites us. At a time when people often feel isolated or disconnected, this message is a powerful reminder that we are never truly alone. Connection can be seen in many forms, in personal relationships, in communities, and even in our link with the planet. By cultivating connection, we can find support and strength in human interactions. These 7 prophecies offer us a valuable perspective on the human condition. They guide us in times of uncertainty, encouraging us to seek unity, wisdom, transformation, responsibility, love, vision, and connection. As a legacy left by the Nephilim, these messages are timeless yet deeply relevant today. As we reflect on each of them, we are invited to ask ourselves, how can we incorporate these teachings into our lives? What small actions can we take to create a positive impact on our world? By reflecting on each of them, we are invited to ask ourselves, how can we incorporate these teachings into our lives? What small actions can we take to create a positive impact in our world? The beauty of these prophecies is that they are not just absolute truths, but guidelines that we can adapt to our reality. They urge us to be more conscious of our choices, to unite in pursuit of a common goal, and to recognize the depth of our interactions. In a world that often seems chaotic, the lessons of the Nephilim can serve as anchors, bringing clarity and purpose to our individual and collective journeys. Now, as you reflect on these prophecies, allow yourself to release the thoughts of the day. Feel lightness spreading through your body, like a gentle breeze that brings tranquility. With each breath, allow the wisdom of the Nephilim to penetrate your mind and heart, guiding you towards a state of peace and serenity. Imagine yourself in a place where connection and unity prevail. Visualize a space where wisdom is valued and transformation is embraced. Feel how this energy flows through you, enveloping you in a cloak of love and understanding. Allow this feeling to intensify, creating a safe and welcoming space for your mind to rest. As you surrender to the depth of this relaxation, feel yourself increasingly connected to the whole. Imagine the light of the stars above, representing the wisdom of the ancestors, illuminating your path. Remember that humanity's journey is a tapestry woven from countless experiences and learnings. Each thread, each one of us, is essential to the whole. And so, as you surrender to the night, allow the messages of the Nephilim to echo softly within your being, guiding your dreams and inspirations. Good night. The fourth prophecy of the Nephilim invites us to reflect on the harmony that must exist between humanity and nature. In this vision, the Nephilim, beings who walked among us, were admirers and protectors of the natural world. They understood that the earth is a living organism, interconnected in ways we often fail to perceive.
This interdependence teaches us that our actions have a direct impact on the ecosystem's balance and, consequently, on our lives. In times of growing urbanization and rampant exploitation of natural resources, this prophecy becomes even more relevant. The pursuit of progress often leads us to sacrifice the environment in the name of economic development. However, the Nephilim warn us about the dangers of this disconnection. Through their stories, we are reminded of the importance of respecting the land, caring for rivers, forests, and all forms of life that share this planet with us. Harmony with nature implies a sustainable way of life, where consumption is balanced and choices are made with consciousness. This does not mean, however, that we should renounce progress or development, but rather that we must find a path that respects and preserves what we have. This quest for harmony leads us to consider how our daily actions, even the simplest ones, can make a difference. Whether it's planting a tree, saving water, or avoiding excessive plastic use, every small gesture counts. Connection with nature is also a source of inspiration and healing. The Nephilim, with their deep understanding of the universe, recognized that spending time in nature helps us recharge our energies, find mental clarity, and restore inner peace. In such a fast-paced world where we are constantly bombarded with information and stimuli, it is essential to set aside moments to simply be in silence, observe, and feel the presence of nature around us.
This connection offers us a broader perspective on life. When we tune in to natural cycles, we realize that everything is in constant motion, that change is an inevitable part of existence. The seasons, for example, teach us about renewal and resilience. Spring brings rebirth, summer abundance, autumn harvest, and winter rest. Each phase is necessary, and just like nature, we too need to learn to flow with the rhythms of life. In the fifth prophecy, the Nephilim emphasize the importance of unity and cooperation among human beings. They remind us that, in essence, we are all part of a grand tapestry where each thread represents an individual with their experiences, struggles, and triumphs. The fragmentation and division that often characterize current society are an obstacle to true spiritual and social evolution. Division generates conflict and destruction, while unity promotes peace and understanding. The idea that we are all interconnected is fundamental to building a more just world. When we recognize that the suffering of one is the suffering of all, we become more empathetic and willing to help. This understanding prompts us to act for the common good, to fight for justice, and to care for one another. The Nephilim inspire us to transcend the barriers that separate us, be they cultural, social, or economic, and to seek a greater purpose, which is the promotion of peace and harmony among all beings. However, this unity does not mean we should give up our individuality. Each of us brings a unique perspective that enriches the collective experience. Diversity is a gift, and learning to value our differences is essential for the evolution of our society. The Nephilim, who represented a combination of various traditions and knowledge, show us that true strength lies in the ability to join forces, respecting the singularities of each individual. The sixth prophecy reveals the importance of the pursuit of knowledge and truth. The Nephilim were known as guardians of ancient wisdoms, and their message encourages us to never stop learning. Knowledge is a powerful tool that can free us from the shadows of ignorance and misinformation. In a world where information is abundantly available, cultivating a critical eye becomes fundamental. We must question, investigate, and seek the truth in all situations. This pursuit of knowledge must be accompanied by a commitment to ethics. It is not enough to accumulate information. It is vital that we use it for good.
Responsibility comes with knowing. What do we do with the knowledge we acquire? How can it be applied to improve our lives and the lives of those around us? The Nephilim urge us to reflect on our intentions and to act with integrity. The knowledge we acquire? How can it be applied to improve our lives and the lives of those around us? The Nephilim urge us to reflect on our intentions and to act with integrity. Finally, the seventh prophecy speaks about the importance of hope and resilience. The Nephilim faced immense challenges,
and even in the face of adversity, they maintained their beliefs and values. This resilience is an example we should follow. In times of uncertainty and difficulty, it is essential to remember that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Hope is a powerful force that drives us forward even when the paths seem obscure. Resilience is not just a matter of survival, but of growth. Every challenge we face can become an opportunity for learning and evolution. The Nephilim teach us that even in the most difficult circumstances, we can find ways to rise again and continue our journey. This message of hope is a beacon in stormy times, reminding us that we are stronger than we imagine, and that, together, we can overcome any obstacle. Thus, as we delve into the prophecies of the Nephilim, we are invited to reflect on our role in the world and the choices we make. Each prophecy is not just a declaration, but a call to action. May we embrace the wisdom, harmony, unity, pursuit of knowledge, responsibility, and hope that these messages bring us, thus shaping a brighter future for humanity. The Nephilim believed that love was the most powerful force in the universe, capable of uniting and transforming. This fifth prophecy teaches us that love is not just a feeling, but a conscious action that must be cultivated and nurtured. In a world that often seems divided and full of conflicts, this message resonates more than ever. Unconditional love is a practice reflected in small daily actions, a gesture of kindness, a word of support, a gentle look. The Nephilim remind us that, by loving, we are not only connecting our hearts, but also opening space for healing and reconciliation. Love has the power to break barriers and dissipate shadows. By cultivating this force in our lives, we can create a positive impact on the relationships around us.
This does not mean ignoring the difficulties or challenges we face, but rather approaching them with the perspective that love can guide us in the search for solutions. History shows us that many civilizations flourished when love and compassion were put into practice. On the other hand, when hatred and division prevail, the result is an endless cycle of conflict and suffering. The Nephilim invite us to reflect on how we can incorporate this prophecy into our daily lives. How can we be agents of love in a world that often seems to be in disarray? This prophecy also leads us to consider the importance of loving ourselves. Amidst so many pressures and expectations, we often forget to take care of our own emotional and spiritual health. The Nephilim teach us that to truly love others, we first need to nurture a healthy love for ourselves. This involves accepting our imperfections, forgiving ourselves for past mistakes, and valuing our achievements, no matter how small. Loving oneself is not an act of selfishness, but a fundamental step for us to genuinely connect with others. By treating ourselves with compassion, we create a safe space for others to also feel comfortable expressing their love and vulnerability. This mutual exchange strengthens the bonds between people and expands the support network we all need. A safe space for others to also feel comfortable expressing their love and vulnerability. This mutual exchange strengthens the bonds between people and expands the support network we all need. The Nephilim also emphasized that love knows no boundaries. It can cross cultures, languages, and generations. In a globalized world where differences seem more evident than ever, this prophecy challenges us to transcend the barriers that separate us. Each of us carries a part of human history, and by recognizing this, we can begin to build bridges that promote peace and understanding. However, love also requires courage. Often, we are afraid to open ourselves up and expose ourselves to others. The fear of rejection or pain can lead us to build walls around our hearts, preventing us from experiencing true connection. The Nephilim encourage us to face these fears and allow love to flow freely in our lives. This can be a gradual process, but every step taken towards vulnerability is a step towards deeper, more authentic love. The fifth prophecy also invites us to act. Love is not a passive state. It compels us to make a difference in the world.
This can manifest in simple actions, such as helping a neighbor, supporting a just cause, or dedicating time to someone who needs a listening ear. Every act of love contributes to a more harmonious and supportive world. In today's world, where social media and technology often isolate us, it's important to remember that true love requires presence. The Nephilim remind us of the importance of human contact, touch, and gaze. It is in these moments of genuine connection that we find the deepest meaning of love, which transforms into positive energy, capable of changing lives and realities. This prophecy is a call for us to become ambassadors of love, not only in our personal lives, but also in our communities. When enough people commit to spreading love and kindness, we can create a movement that transcends any crisis or difficulty. Instead of being mere spectators, we can be the protagonists of a change that reverberates through time. As we reflect on love in our lives, we are invited to ask, what can we do today to cultivate more love? How can we connect more deeply with those around us? And, most importantly, how can we be more loving towards ourselves? These questions are central to applying this prophecy. The Nephilim show us that love is a continuous choice, a practice that renews itself every day. It is not an idealized love, but a real and active love that involves commitment, patience, and understanding. As we strive to practice this form of love, we begin to see the world through a more hopeful and generous lens. This fifth prophecy is a reminder that, regardless of the difficulties we encounter, love will always be the answer. It is the light that guides us through darkness and the strength that keeps us united, even when everything seems to fall apart. Through love, we can not only transform our own lives, but also profoundly impact the lives of those around us, creating a legacy that will endure for generations. With this, reflecting on love leads us to a space of introspection and connection, where we can open ourselves to the infinite possibilities this feeling offers us. By fully embracing it, we are following the teachings of the Nephilim and allowing ourselves to be part of something greater, a true network of love that can transform the future of humanity. V6. By fully embracing it, we are following the teachings of the Nephilim and allowing ourselves to be part of something greater, a true network of love that can transform the future of humanity. The fifth prophecy of the Nephilim leads us to reflect on the power of unity and collaboration among human beings. This vision highlights that, just as the Nephilim united to face challenges and adversities, humanity must also learn to work together to overcome the difficulties we encounter on our path. In an increasingly divided world, this message becomes even more important. It reminds us that, although our differences may seem vast, there is a powerful force in the union of our efforts. In their histories, the Nephilim were seen as beings who transcended divisions. They were recognized for their ability to unite tribes and peoples, promoting peace and mutual understanding. This capacity to reconcile interests and establish dialogues is a teaching that resonates deeply in our current times. In the present global scenario, where conflicts and divisions seem to dominate, the lesson of the Nephilim is clear. Only through cooperation can we resolve the problems we face. Collaboration is not limited to the political or social sphere. It extends to all aspects of our lives. In the workplace, for instance, the ability to listen to and respect others' opinions, to create an environment where everyone feels valued, can lead to far more effective results than rampant competition. When we work together, we can unite talents and skills, creating innovative solutions that benefit everyone. This concept is essential in a world where we are often led to believe that one's victory signifies another's defeat. Furthermore, the prophecy of the Nephilim invites us to consider the importance of empathy. The Nephilim understood the struggles of humans and sought ways to help them. In our daily lives, this empathy is fundamental. By putting ourselves in another's shoes, we can better understand their needs and challenges. This connection not only makes us more supportive, but also drives us to act altruistically, seeking collective well-being instead of individual gain. When we reflect on collaboration and empathy, it is impossible not to consider the role of technology in our lives. Although many argue that technology isolates us, it also has the potential to unite people from different parts of the world. Social media, for example, can serve as platforms for exchanging ideas and for mobilization in social causes.
However, it is crucial to use them consciously, ensuring they promote dialogue instead of discord. The sixth prophecy of the Nephilim is a call to action. It reminds us that, as human beings, we have the responsibility to care for one another and for the world we inhabit. This responsibility goes beyond our individual actions. It is a matter of how we organize ourselves as a society. What we do today shapes the future we will leave for upcoming generations. Therefore, we are challenged to act with wisdom and consideration, remembering that every choice has consequences. The Nephilim taught us about the importance of legacy. They left behind not only stories, but also profound lessons on how to live in harmony with one another and with the earth. This notion of legacy leads us to reflect on what we want our lives to represent. What kind of impact do we want to make? What stories do we want told about us when we are no longer here? This legacy also extends to nature. The way we treat the environment today will affect not only our lives, but also the lives of future generations. Environmental degradation is a critical issue that can no longer be ignored. We must strive to leave a healthier and more sustainable world for those who come after us. This prophecy invites us to act consciously regarding our legacy, both concerning people and the planet. We can start with small changes in our daily lives, such as reducing plastic consumption, using water responsibly, and choosing sustainable products. Every action counts, and these small choices accumulate, creating a significant impact over time. The seventh and final prophecy of the Nephilim is an invitation to reflect on spirituality and the connection with the divine. The Nephilim, in their interactions with humanity, frequently brought messages of wisdom and knowledge, stimulating a search for deeper truth. This search is not just about understanding the world around us, but also about understanding ourselves and our place in the universe. Spirituality, in its various forms, can offer us a sense of purpose and direction. Whether through meditation, prayer, or the contemplation of nature, this connection with something greater helps us find meaning in our lives. In times of uncertainty, it is comforting to know that we are part of something larger, that our lives have purpose, and that we are all interconnected in ways we often cannot fully comprehend. The Nephilim, by teaching us about harmony, collaboration, empathy, responsibility, and spirituality, offer us a path forward. They invite us to reflect on how we can live our lives more consciously, respecting ourselves, others, and our planet. As we conclude our journey through the prophecies, we are reminded that each of us has a role to play in building a more harmonious and sustainable future. Now, I invite you to close your eyes and breathe deeply. Feel the calm enveloping your body, allowing each inhale to bring serenity and each exhale to carry away the day's worries. Visualize a world where the lessons of the Nephilim are lived, where harmony and collaboration prevail. Let yourself be carried away by this vision, knowing that by acting towards a better future, you are also contributing to the fulfillment of these prophecies. Good night. Prophecy number 6 leads us to a profound understanding of the reality of impermanence. The Nephilim, beings who knew well the fragility of life, taught us that everything is in constant change. Impermanence is a universal truth, and by recognizing it, we are invited to live more consciously and fully. Instead of clinging to things, ideas, or people, we are encouraged to embrace each moment as unique and precious. This understanding of impermanence helps us value the experiences and relationships we build. In a society often consumed by the pursuit of security and stability, the idea that everything can change at any moment can be frightening. However, the Nephilim show us that this transience should not be a cause for fear, but for celebration. Each day brings with it the opportunity for transformation, growth, and renewal. When we face the inevitability of change, we learn to detach. Detachment does not refer to indifference, but rather to the ability to appreciate the present without the anxiety of the future or the pain of the past. When we manage to live with this awareness, we release the tension that keeps us bound by expectations and desires. This is one of the Nephilim's most valuable teachings, to live in the now, instead of getting lost in worries about what was or what will be. Furthermore, accepting impermanence teaches us how to deal with loss. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a dream, or a phase of life, pain is an inevitable part of the human experience. The Nephilim encourage us to face this pain with courage, recognizing that although loss brings suffering, it is also an opportunity for growth and transformation. Every end is, in fact, a new beginning in disguise. Life is a continuous cycle of farewells and reunions, and by accepting this, we become more resilient and adaptable. The sixth prophecy also invites us to look at the changes occurring within ourselves. Our beliefs, values, and identities are constantly evolving. As we experience new things, we can discover parts of ourselves that we didn't know before. The Nephilim remind us that this journey of self-discovery is fundamental for our personal growth. By embracing the impermanence of our being, we allow ourselves to change, adapt, and evolve. The practice of gratitude is a powerful way to honor impermanence. By recognizing and appreciating what we have in the present, we are able to create a space of joy and contentment in our lives. The Nephilim taught that, even in the most challenging circumstances, there is always something to be grateful for. This practice helps us find beauty in life's transitions and cherish every small moment. The sixth prophecy also invites us to reflect on the impact impermanence has on our relationships. Often, we cling to people and moments, fearing separation. However, when we recognize that we are all in a constant flow, we can cultivate healthier and more authentic relationships. This allows us to love without possessiveness, support without expecting anything in return, and connect in a deeper and more meaningful way. Detachment does not mean not caring. On the contrary, it is a way to love with freedom. When we love in a detached way, we allow the other person to be who they truly are, without the pressure of meeting our expectations. This light and open approach strengthens bonds and creates an environment where everyone can flourish. As this prophecy unfolds in our lives, we are challenged to be more flexible and adaptable.
Life rarely follows a linear path, and the Nephilim show us that beauty often resides in surprises and detours. Every change brings new opportunities, and by allowing ourselves to embrace the unknown, we can discover horizons we never imagined were possible. The sixth prophecy also reminds us of the importance of living with intention. In a world that often seems chaotic and unpredictable, having clarity about our values and purposes helps us navigate life's currents. When we live intentionally, we don't just react to circumstances, but we make decisions that are aligned with our true selves. This gives us a sense of purpose and direction even amidst uncertainty. We intentionally act and move forward, not merely reacting passively to external circumstances, but actively making conscious decisions that are truly aligned with our authentic selves. This deliberate approach grants us a profound sense of purpose and clear direction even amidst life's inherent uncertainty. Finally, the profound and insightful acceptance of impermanence ultimately leads us to a serene place of genuine inner peace. When we truly understand that absolutely everything around us is in a constant state of dynamic change, and that all experiences, whether inherently good or undeniably challenging, are ultimately temporary, we then discover true and lasting freedom. This newfound freedom profoundly allows us to live with a remarkable lightness of being, gracefully letting go of what we simply cannot control, and wholeheartedly embracing the natural, evolving flow of life. The Nephilim sagely teach us that impermanence is, in its very essence, a profound blessing in disguise. It serves as an ever-present, constant reminder that each individual moment truly counts, and that every single experience inherently offers an invaluable opportunity for deep learning and significant personal growth. By consciously recognizing and openly accepting this fundamental truth, we are empowered to live in a far more complete and profoundly conscious manner, finding genuine joy in the seemingly small things and appreciating the intrinsic beauty found within all transitions. As we continue to delve more deeply into the profound intricacies of this ancient prophecy, we are thoughtfully invited to earnestly reflect upon the dynamic changes occurring within our own personal lives. We might specifically ask ourselves, what are the particular areas where we can consciously practice detachment? And how precisely can we wholeheartedly embrace impermanence with a truly open heart? This profound journey of self-discovery and heartfelt acceptance will undoubtedly guide us to a state of much greater peace and expanded understanding, empowering us to live with abundant love and deep gratitude, even when navigating the complexities of uncertainty. In this way, we progressively learn to gracefully dance with life, genuinely appreciating each deliberate step and every evolving change, precisely as the Nephilim have so eloquently taught us, always remaining steadfast in our quest for the illuminating light and universal truth that ultimately bind and connect us all. The prophecy of the Nephilim additionally prompts us to reflect upon the immense potential we collectively hold to profoundly transform our communities through genuine mutual understanding. This compelling vision further encourages us to actively cultivate the crucial capacity for deep listening and constructive dialogue, not solely during moments of critical crisis, but, more importantly, as an inherent and cherished part of our everyday lives. The Nephilim, much like the rich and multifaceted stories that consistently surround them, teach us unequivocally that true and lasting power fundamentally resides in the unique ability to thoughtfully connect human hearts and minds, entirely irrespective of any formidable barriers or inherent divisions that may ultimately exist. Let us vividly imagine a world, an ideal state of being, wherein cultural differences and even the most divergent of opinions are not perceived as insurmountable obstacles to progress, but are instead embraced wholeheartedly as valuable opportunities for enriched learning and profound growth. When the legendary Nephilim came together in formidable union, they did not merely consolidate their immense physical and spiritual forces. They also inextricably unified a vast tapestry of diverse visions, invaluable experiences, and ancient wisdom that collectively transcended the conventional boundaries of time itself. This extraordinary capacity to harmoniously integrate and reconcile widely differing perspectives stands as a timeless legacy that we are, without doubt, capable of upholding and meticulously following.
Indeed, such a profound union is not merely a pragmatic matter of fleeting convenience, but rather an absolute, vital necessity in our increasingly interconnected and globalized world. A reality where we are persistently reminded that all of our individual lives are intricately and inextricably interlinked. This intricate and undeniable interlinking of destinies is precisely what compels us towards a deeper reflection on the profound collective responsibility that each and every one of us bears. Just as the formidable Nephilim consciously assumed their significant and pivotal role throughout history, so too must we earnestly ask ourselves, what precisely is our unique and essential role in the ongoing construction of a future that is not only inherently more just, but also undeniably more equitable for all? For transformational change does not exclusively manifest on grand, monumental scales, but equally blossoms through the countless, often overlooked, small actions of our everyday existence. Consequently, every single act of genuine kindness, every heartfelt gesture of profound understanding, and every precious moment in which we deliberately choose empathy as our guiding principle instead of succumbing to hasty judgment, collectively contributes to weaving a more robust, resilient, and ultimately stronger social fabric for humanity. The sixth prophecy of the Nephilim powerfully reminds us of the paramount importance of absolute transparency and unwavering honesty within all our relationships. In all their multifaceted interactions, both with humanity at large and intimately among themselves, the Nephilim were consistently renowned for their profound sincerity. The intrinsic capacity to be utterly truthful and to consistently act with impeccable integrity is a foundational virtue that, when meticulously cultivated and nurtured, possesses the extraordinary potential to fundamentally transform entire communities. Indeed, when individuals feel completely safe and truly empowered to openly articulate their diverse opinions and heartfelt emotions, an unbreakable sense of trust becomes deeply established, thereby facilitating and enabling far more profound, enriching, and ultimately significant dialogues. V6. When cultivated, it has the power to transform communities. When individuals feel secure enough to express their opinions and emotions, trust establishes itself, paving the way for deeper and more significant dialogues.
This transparency should not be confused with overexposure. Rather, it is about being authentic without losing respect for others. In a world where misinformation and appearances often prevail, honesty serves as a guiding light for interactions. This value becomes especially crucial in times of crisis, when difficult decisions must be made and clarity is paramount. The lessons from the Nephilim challenge us to be truthful, not only with others, but also with ourselves, acknowledging our weaknesses and striving to grow from them. Finally, the seventh prophecy of the Nephilim teaches us about resilience, the ability to recover and strengthen ourselves in the face of adversity. The Nephilim faced unimaginable challenges and, despite the hardships, found ways to rise again. This resilience is an essential quality for humanity as we live in a world full of uncertainties. Each of us faces personal battles, and the way we react to these difficulties defines our character. Resilience is not merely the ability to recover, but also the capacity to learn and evolve from experiences. The Nephilim, through their stories, show us that a fall is not the end, but an opportunity to start anew with greater wisdom. We must remember that, just like them, we also possess the capacity to reinvent ourselves, to transform our obstacles into springboards for success. This journey of self-discovery and growth must be accompanied by a commitment to others. Being resilient doesn't just mean overcoming our own difficulties, but also reaching out to those around us, offering support and encouragement. When we help each other overcome challenges, we create a network of strength that elevates everyone. This solidarity is fundamental for building cohesive and strong communities. Therefore, as we reflect on the 7 prophecies of the Nephilim, we are invited to integrate these teachings into our lives. Unity and collaboration are essential for confronting the challenges that arise in our path. We must seek empathy in our interactions, cultivating an environment where different voices can be heard and respected. Transparency and honesty are fundamental pillars that support healthy relationships, while resilience teaches us never to give up, not only for ourselves but also for others. With this, we are challenged to act. Every day, we have the opportunity to make choices that promote unity, understanding, and collective strength. If each of us commits to cultivating these virtues, we can not only honor the legacy of the Nephilim, but also create a future where humanity unites around a common purpose, the construction of a more just, supportive, and resilient world. Thus, we move forward, guided by these prophecies, on a journey that leads us to a more hopeful and enlightened tomorrow. The 7th prophecy of the Nephilim is revealed through a deep understanding of the connection between humans and the cosmos. This connection reminds us that we are part of a greater whole, interconnected with the universe in ways we often don't perceive. The Nephilim, with their ancient knowledge, urge us to reflect on how our actions, thoughts, and emotions reverberate within the fabric of the cosmos, influencing not only our lives, but also the destiny of humanity. Ancient knowledge compel us to reflect on how our actions, thoughts, and emotions reverberate through the fabric of the cosmos, influencing not only our lives, but also the destiny of humanity. When we look at the stars, we realize that we are surrounded by billions of galaxies, each one full of mysteries and stories. This vastness makes us feel insignificant, but at the same time, it reminds us of our importance. Every human being carries within them a divine spark, an energy that, when aligned with the universe, can create profound changes. The Nephilim, as guardians of this knowledge, show us that we are co-creators of our reality. This prophecy encourages us to find our place in this vast cosmos. By recognizing our interconnectedness, we begin to understand that our actions have an impact on everything around us. Every act of kindness, every word of love, and every positive thought reverberates through space and time, creating waves that can transform the world. Similarly, our negative actions also have their consequences, and it is this responsibility that makes us powerful.
The Nephilim teach us that true wisdom resides in the ability to see beyond what is before our eyes. They invite us to look within, to explore our inner selves, and to understand our deepest desires. This self-exploration is an essential journey that helps us align our intentions with the cosmos. When we know ourselves, we are able to act with greater clarity and purpose, becoming agents of the change we wish to see in the world. But this cosmic connection is not limited to the individual alone. It extends to all humanity. The Nephilim emphasize the importance of unity and collaboration among peoples. In a world where divisions often seem insurmountable, this prophecy reminds us that, despite our differences, we have a common goal: the pursuit of peace, harmony, and spiritual evolution. When we unite for greater purposes, we create a powerful force that can overcome any obstacle. The seventh prophecy also invites us to honor the earth, our home. At a time when environmental issues are prominent, the teachings of the Nephilim become increasingly relevant. They remind us that we are part of a delicate ecosystem and that our actions have a direct impact on the planet. Caring for the earth is not just a responsibility, it is an act of love that reverberates in our relationship with the cosmos. When we respect and protect the environment, we are, in fact, reaffirming our connection with the universe. Through the practice of gratitude, we can cultivate this connection. Gratitude is a powerful tool that keeps us aligned with the positive energy of the universe. The Nephilim encourage us to recognize daily small blessings, to value every moment, and to express our appreciation for all that we have. This attitude not only elevates our vibrational frequency, but also connects us more deeply with others and with the cosmos. The ancient rituals of the Nephilim often included stargazing. They understood that the sky was not just a dark cloak, but a tapestry of stories and wisdom. As we look at the night sky, we are reminded of our cosmic heritage. Each star is a reminder that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. This perspective helps us to relativize our problems and find strength in difficulties. Cosmic dance. Each star is a reminder that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. This perspective helps us put our problems into perspective and find strength in difficulties. Furthermore, the seventh prophecy awakens us to the importance of silence and meditation. In a fast-paced world where we are constantly bombarded with information, this pause is essential. The Nephilim teach us that it is in silence that we find truth. It is there that we can hear our inner voice and where we can connect with the wisdom of the universe. The practice of meditation allows us to silence the mind and open the heart, creating space for intuition and creativity to flourish. When we allow ourselves this moment of introspection, we begin to realize that the answers we seek are already within us. The connection with the cosmos is not something that only happens externally. It is an internal experience that transforms us. Thus, the Nephilim encourage us to develop practices that help us strengthen this bond. Whether through meditation, contemplation of nature, or the practice of gratitude, all these paths lead us to a greater understanding of ourselves and the universe. The seventh prophecy, therefore, is not just a teaching about interconnection, but an invitation to live consciously. By recognizing that we are part of a whole, we are called to act with responsibility, compassion, and love. Every choice we make is an opportunity to create a positive impact on the world. Thus, by integrating the teachings of the Nephilim into our lives, we can become agents of transformation, contributing to a more harmonious and balanced future for all. Finally, this prophecy reminds us that the journey never ends. Each day is a new opportunity to expand our consciousness, deepen our connection, and evolve as human beings. The Nephilim guide us on this path, inspiring us to live with courage and embrace the changes that life presents to us. By doing so, we not only honor our own journey, but also become part of the great tapestry of the cosmos, where each of us has a role to play. The connection we have with the universe is a precious gift, and it is up to us to cultivate it with love and gratitude. The sixth prophecy of the Nephilim teaches us about the importance of transparency and honesty in relationships. This virtue, so necessary in our days, was a fundamental principle in the interactions of the Nephilim, both among themselves and in relation to humans. They were known for their sincerity and the way they related to the world around them. This transparency allowed them to build strong and lasting bonds where trust and collaboration flourished. Imagine a scenario where each of us felt safe to express our opinions and emotions. An environment where honesty was not seen as a risk, but as an essential pillar of human relationships. When dialogue is open and sincere, mistrust dissipates, and it is possible to cultivate a space where differences are respected and valued. The Nephilim, by behaving genuinely, showed that true strength lies in vulnerability and the willingness to be authentic.
The seventh and final prophecy of the Nephilim invites us to reflect on the legacy we leave for future generations. What are we doing today to ensure a more just, more welcoming, and more sustainable world? Time is a precious resource, and the way we use it determines not only our future, but also the future of those who will come after us. The Nephilim, with their actions and choices, planted the seeds of a legacy that would resonate through time. Determines not only our future, but also the future of those who will come after us. The Nephilim, through their actions and choices, planted the seeds of a legacy that would resonate through the ages. This reflection leads us to consider the importance of our everyday decisions. Every small action has the potential to create a domino effect, impacting not only our lives, but also the lives of others around us. When we choose to act with compassion and empathy, we not only contribute to a better world, but we also inspire others to do the same. The example of the Nephilim reminds us that change begins within ourselves. We must ask ourselves, what kind of legacy are we building? Are we leaving behind a world marked by divisions and conflicts, or are we actively working to create a more just society where everyone has a chance to prosper? What we do today will echo tomorrow, and it is crucial that we are aware of our actions and their repercussions. The stories of the Nephilim also show us that knowledge and education are fundamental for building a better future. They possessed a deep understanding of the forces that shaped the world and used this knowledge to guide their decisions. This is a powerful reminder that we must constantly seek to learn and grow. Education is a tool that can free us from the limitations and prejudices that often separate us. In an increasingly complex and interconnected world, it is vital that we strive to expand our knowledge and understanding. As we learn about the experiences and perspectives of others, we become more empathetic and capable of connecting with those who are different from us. The Nephilim, by embracing the diversity of ideas and cultures, showed that true richness lies in the plurality of voices and in openness to dialogue. As we contemplate the prophecies of the Nephilim, we are called to adopt an active stance towards the future we want to create. We cannot be mere spectators in our lives. We must be protagonists. This implies taking responsibility for our actions and their consequences, making conscious choices that reflect our values and aspirations. The journey of the Nephilim inspires us to dream big and to believe in the possibility of transformation. Each of us has the power to make a difference, not only in our own lives, but also in the lives of those around us. Change does not have to be monumental. Small actions, when performed with intention and determination, can have a great impact. As we reflect on these prophecies, it is important to remember that the future is not a fixed destination, but a blank canvas that we can paint with our actions and choices. What do we want to see reflected on this canvas? What colors and shapes do we want to stand out? The answer to these questions will guide us on our journey, just as the Nephilim were guided by their own aspirations and values. We are now faced with a choice. We can let ourselves be carried away by the currents of fear and uncertainty, or we can rise up and embrace our potential to create a more enlightened world. The Nephilim show us that when we unite forces and commit to a common purpose, we are capable of overcoming challenges that once seemed insurmountable. As we approach the end of this reflection, it is essential that we pause to absorb everything we have discussed. Allow yourself to feel the depth of these ideas. Breathe deeply and reflect on how they apply to your own life. What will you take away from this moment? What actions can you choose to take to align more closely with these principles that have emerged from the stories of the Nephilim? The journey of the Nephilim, with their prophecies and teachings, invites us to dream, to act, and to believe in a better future. They remind us that we are all part of a larger tapestry, that our stories are interconnected, and that together we can shape a more hopeful and harmonious tomorrow. By engaging with these principles, we open the door to the transformation we so desire to see, both in our lives and in the lives of future generations. May we, like the Nephilim, keep alive the flame of knowledge, honesty, and empathy as we walk together towards a future that values diversity, transparency, and justice. This is the true essence of the Nephilim's legacy, and it is this essence that we must cultivate in our own lives. The Nephilim teach us that true wisdom resides in the ability to see beyond what lies before our eyes. They invite us to look within, to explore our inner selves, and to understand our deepest desires. This self-exploration is an essential journey that helps us align our intentions with the cosmos. When we know ourselves, we can act with greater clarity and purpose, becoming agents of the change we wish to see in the world. But this cosmic connection is not limited to the individual alone. It extends to all humanity. The Nephilim encourage the collective to reflect on the impact of its actions on the world. In their visions, they observe that the nature of humanity is woven into a grand mosaic where each person is a fundamental piece. They believe that, by acting with compassion and respect, we can create a harmonious future where everyone coexists in balance. This collectivist perspective is a vital lesson that resonates in our times, when division and conflict seem to prevail. Each day, we are reminded that our interactions, however small, have the power to create waves of change. A kind gesture, a word of encouragement, or even the simple presence of someone who cares can make a significant difference in another person's life. The Nephilim, with their ancestral wisdom, teach us the importance of cultivating empathy and solidarity. They guide us to realize that, by uplifting one another, we also uplift humanity as a whole. The 8th prophecy of the Nephilim addresses the evolution of human knowledge. They speak to us about the constant search for wisdom that characterizes our species. Knowledge, for them, is not just an accumulation of information, but a living force that transforms us and propels us towards our true potential. The Nephilim remind us that wisdom is a continuous process, and that we must be open to learning from life's experiences. This search for knowledge, according to the Nephilim, should be guided by curiosity and truth. They teach us not to passively accept what we are told, but to question, investigate, and explore. This inquisitive attitude leads us to discover new perspectives and to expand our consciousness. In a world saturated with information, this ability becomes crucial. The Nephilim encourage us to seek truth in our own experience, instead of limiting ourselves to what is conventionally accepted. In a world saturated with information, this skill becomes crucial. The Nephilim encourage us to seek truth in our own experience, rather than limiting ourselves to what is conventionally accepted. In the 9th prophecy, the Nephilim reflect on the role of nature in our lives. They show us that we are an integral part of the natural world, and that our health and well-being are intertwined with the health of the planet. Through this connection, we are reminded that we need to care for the earth as we care for ourselves. The Nephilim warn of the consequences of ignoring this link and challenge us to consider our daily practices. Every choice we make has an impact, and the responsibility to protect our home is a collective task. The Nephilim, with their ancient wisdom, inspire us to seek ways of living in harmony with nature. They teach us to value the resources the planet offers us and to consider how our actions affect ecosystems. By doing so, we not only ensure a sustainable future, but also cultivate a deeper connection with the earth and its wonders. The 10th prophecy leads us to reflect on the importance of love and unity. The Nephilim remind us that ultimately everything comes down to love.
love for ourselves, for others, and for the world around us. This powerful energy is what unites us and empowers us to overcome challenges. They teach us that by nurturing love in our lives, we create a vibrational field that can transform realities. Through love, we are able to forgive, to heal, and to leave behind divisions that often seem insurmountable. The Nephilim invite us to look beyond differences and find what unites us. They remind us that, regardless of our origins or beliefs, we all share the same human essence. This understanding is a crucial step towards building a more peaceful and collaborative future. The penultimate prophecy, the 11th, speaks of the importance of courage. For the Nephilim, courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. They encourage us to face challenges with determination and not to be deterred by difficulties. This courage is necessary to break down barriers, challenge norms, and fight for what we believe to be just. The Nephilim show us that by cultivating this courage in our lives, we become not only defenders of our own truths, but also beacons of hope for others. When we stand up and speak on behalf of truth, we inspire those around us to do the same.
This collective courage is what can bring about significant changes in the world. Finally, the 12th prophecy invites us to reflect on time and eternity. The Nephilim teach us that life is a continuous cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This understanding helps us to see beyond the ephemeral nature of life and to embrace each moment as an opportunity for growth and learning. They remind us that even in the face of adversity, there is always room for transformation. In this eternal cycle, we are challenged to live with purpose and intention, recognizing that every action we take reverberates throughout the grand tapestry of the cosmos. The Nephilim invite us to embrace the impermanence of life and to find beauty in change. They inspire us to leave a positive legacy, to become agents of transformation in our time. At the end of this journey through the Nephilim's prophecies, we are left with a profound sense of connection to the universe and to our fellow beings. By recognizing our role in the grand drama of existence, we find new meaning in our lives. The Nephilim's messages encourage us to cultivate love, courage, knowledge, and respect for nature, reminding us that we are all part of something much greater. Thus, as we look to the stars, we can see ourselves reflected in them, like infinite possibilities waiting to be realized. We stand before the 7th and final prophecy of the Nephilim, a profound teaching that invites us to reflect on the legacy we leave for future generations. What are we doing today to ensure a more just, welcoming, and sustainable world? This question resonates deeply, especially at a time when humanity faces unprecedented challenges. Time, as a precious resource, cannot be wasted, for how we use it shapes not only our future, but also the future of those who will come after us. The Nephilim, through their actions and choices, planted the seeds of a legacy that would resonate through the ages. They understood that every act, no matter how small, could have a significant impact. For them, the concept of legacy was intrinsically linked to responsibility. They did not act solely for their own benefit. Their decisions were weighed against the greater good. This awareness leads us to consider the importance of our own daily decisions. Every small action has the potential to create a domino effect, affecting not only our lives, but also the lives of others around us. When we choose to act with compassion and empathy, we are not just doing our part, but also inspiring others to do the same. The example of the Nephilim reminds us that change begins within ourselves. Social transformation is not an isolated act. It is a chain of collective actions that intertwine and amplify each other. Just as the Nephilim united to shape their world, we too can unite around causes that promote justice and equity. Let's imagine for a moment what would happen if each of us committed to acting for a positive legacy. Imagine a world where generosity was the norm, where people helped each other instead of withdrawing in pursuit of personal interests. This vision might seem utopian, but history shows us that great changes begin with small steps. Each time someone chooses to be kind, to help a stranger, or to defend a just cause, a new story begins to be written. The Nephilim were known for their strength.
not just physical, but also in their ability to inspire and unite. They cultivated a culture of mutual support, where the success of one was celebrated as an achievement for all. They teach us that community bonds are fundamental for building a lasting legacy. When we unite around common purposes, our actions become more powerful and effective. The collective has the capacity to transform visions into realities. A legacy, however, is not just about what we leave behind. It is also about how we live in the present. The choices we make daily, no matter how simple, have the potential to shape a future that reflects our values and beliefs. We are often confronted with decisions that may seem trivial, but which, in reality, can have significant repercussions. Choosing to consume consciously, to support local businesses, or to engage in social causes are examples of how our small decisions can contribute to a larger legacy. Among the reflections brought by the last prophecy of the Nephilim is the idea that legacy also extends to nature. The way we treat the environment and natural resources is an extension of our responsibility towards future generations.
The Nephilim, understanding the interconnectedness of all things, remind us that caring for our planet is, in fact, caring for our future. Every tree planted, every piece of litter collected, and every effort to reduce our ecological footprint are acts that reverberate beyond our own existence. As we reflect on legacy, it is essential to recognize the voices that have come before us. Those who fought for justice, equality, and dignity left indelible marks on our history. In the Nephilim, we find an example of pioneering spirit, but also of learning. They teach us that we must listen to the stories of those who came before so that we can build a more solidified and respectful path towards the future. We cannot forget that legacy is not static, it evolves. What we consider important today may be different tomorrow. It is our responsibility as individuals and as a society to adapt our legacy to the needs and voices of each succeeding generation. This flexibility is crucial to ensure that what we leave behind is not just a reflection of our own beliefs, but rather an inclusive space that embraces the diversity of experiences and perspectives. Thus, as we look to the future, we must ask ourselves, what kind of legacy are we building? Are we leaving behind a world that values diversity, empathy, and collaboration? Are our actions creating an environment where future generations can prosper and continue the fight for justice and collective well-being? The words of the ancient Nephilim echo in our time, challenging us to act consciously, to live with intention, and to unite in search of a future filled with hope. Today's actions shape tomorrow's realities. The future we desire will not be built through isolated grand gestures, but through a daily commitment to what is right. Just like the Nephilim, we can be agents of change, planting the seeds of a legacy that will flourish in future generations. With every step we take, every decision we make, we can be part of a story that transcends time, a legacy that will not only remember the achievements of the past, but also shape a brighter tomorrow full of possibilities. May we therefore be inspired by the wisdom of the Nephilim and commit to leaving behind a legacy worth remembering. We'll also shape a brighter tomorrow full of possibilities. May we therefore be inspired by the wisdom of the Nephilim and commit to leaving behind a legacy worth remembering. This quest for knowledge is like a journey through a labyrinth where each turn reveals new challenges and opportunities. The Nephilim, with their broad vision, encourage us not to fear the uncertainty this journey brings. They teach us that errors and stumbles are fundamental parts of learning, and that every experience, whether positive or negative, contributes to our growth. Throughout history, humanity has encountered moments of great discovery and evolution. The invention of the wheel, the creation of writing, and scientific revolutions are examples of quantum leaps in our understanding of the world. The Nephilim remind us that each of these advancements was possible because individuals were willing to question the status quo and explore the unknown. They inspire us to be curious, to ask questions, and never to accept things as they are, but rather as they could be. The ninth prophecy of the Nephilim speaks of the interconnectedness of all things. They teach us that everything in the universe is linked and that every action we take reverberates throughout the cosmos. This interconnectedness reminds us that our choices affect not only ourselves, but also those around us and even future generations. Living with this awareness is a call to responsibility, an invitation to act with wisdom. The Nephilim, with their ability to see beyond temporal and spatial limitations, urge us to look at the earth, the sky, and within ourselves. They encourage us to recognize that each of us is a thread in the tapestry of life, and that the way we weave our individual stories impacts the larger pattern. This holistic vision of existence reinforces the importance of cultivating healthy relationships and caring for our planet. For every gesture of respect and love is a contribution to collective well-being. The 10th prophecy addresses the power of intention. The Nephilim believe that intention is a powerful force that shapes our reality. They teach us that by emitting clear and positive intentions, we can manifest significant changes in our lives and the world around us. The practice of conscious intention helps us align our actions with our deepest desires, creating a harmonious flow between what we think, feel, and do. Practicing conscious intention requires attention and presence. The Nephilim invite us to slow down and connect with the present moment. This connection allows us to perceive our thoughts and emotions and gives us the opportunity to choose how to react to them. In such a fast-paced world, this practice becomes an active resistance, a reminder that we have the power to shape our reality regardless of external circumstances. The 11th prophecy speaks of the importance of creativity. The Nephilim teach us that creativity is a manifestation of the divine within us. They believe that we are all creators, capable of bringing new ideas and innovations to life. Creativity is not limited to the arts, but permeates all areas of human experience, from science to everyday problem-solving. Through creativity, we can express our individuality and bring forth our unique gifts. The Nephilim encourage us to embrace our creativity, to explore new ways of thinking, and not to be afraid to make mistakes in the process. They remind us that innovation often arises from unconventional ideas, and that by unleashing our imagination, we open doors to infinite possibilities. The 12th prophecy speaks of the importance of resilience. The Nephilim, who faced immense challenges, teach us that resilience is an essential quality for survival and growth. They remind us that, even in the face of adversity, we have the capacity to rise again and find strength within ourselves. This quality allows us to learn from failures and adapt to changes, making us stronger and wiser. Cultivating resilience involves a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers, the Nephilim teach us to view them as learning opportunities. This positive approach helps us develop the courage to move forward, even when the path seems difficult. Resilience is a daily practice, a conscious choice to face challenges with determination and hope. Finally, the 13th prophecy reminds us of the importance of gratitude. The Nephilim teach us that gratitude is a powerful tool for transformation. When we cultivate gratitude, we shift our perspective and find beauty in the small things in life. The practice of gratitude helps us appreciate what we already have, instead of focusing on what we lack. Gratitude connects us to the present and allows us to experience the fullness of life. The Nephilim encourage us to make gratitude a daily practice, to recognize and celebrate the blessings that surround us. By doing so, we not only uplift our own spirit, but also radiate positive energy that impacts those around us. These prophecies of the Nephilim invite us to reflect on our role in the universe and on the way we live our lives. They encourage us to be conscious of our actions, to cultivate empathy and solidarity, to seek knowledge and creativity, to practice resilience and gratitude. By embracing these lessons, we can become not only better individuals, but also agents of change in a world that desperately needs hope and harmony. As we allow ourselves to delve into these reflections, we begin to understand that the journey is as important as the destination. The Nephilim remind us that, along the way, we find wisdom, growth, and connection, and that these are the true treasures we carry with us.
Now, as we look to the future, may we carry these lessons in our hearts, allowing them to guide us as we navigate life's uncertainties, always in search of a better tomorrow. Imagine a world where generosity and empathy are the driving forces of our society. A world where every human interaction is marked by mutual understanding and a genuine desire to help others. This vision, though it may seem distant, is the legacy that the Nephilim challenge us to build. They understood that their actions had repercussions not only on their own lives, but primarily on the lives of future generations. Reflection on the legacy we leave is crucial, especially in times of uncertainty and division. The Nephilim, with their intertwined stories of power and responsibility, teach us that what we do today reverberates through time. Every choice we make, every gesture of kindness or indifference, creates an impact that extends beyond the immediate. They remind us that, in an interconnected world, our actions intertwine like the threads of a tapestry, and the way we choose to weave that tapestry will determine the beauty or disorder of our collective reality. In an interconnected world, our actions intertwine like the threads of a tapestry, and the way we choose to weave this tapestry will determine the beauty or the disorder of our collective reality. As we look to what lies ahead, it's essential to remember that the Nephilim's prophecies are not mere warnings, but invitations to action. Each of them, including this seventh and final one, calls us to act in a way that promotes harmony and justice. They challenge us to be the architects of a future where kindness and compassion prevail, even in the face of adversity. With this in mind, let's reflect on the importance of leaving a positive legacy in our communities. What are we actually doing to inspire those around us? Every small act of kindness can create ripples of change. When we help a neighbor, support a friend, or simply offer a word of encouragement to someone struggling, we are contributing to a better world. Just like the Nephilim, who saw the value of their actions reflected in future generations, we must strive to act in a way that inspires others to follow a similar path. Now, imagine a scenario where we all commit to leaving a legacy of compassion. If each of us became an agent of change, we could transform the narrative of our society. The small actions could create a domino effect where kindness would become contagious. A simple attitude can inspire others, and soon we would be living in a world where solidarity is the norm, not the exception. The legacy of the Nephilim is a reminder that power lies in our hands. They taught us that true strength resides not only in the ability to dominate or control, but in the ability to unite and inspire. The choice to act for the collective well-being is a responsibility we all share. Just as the Nephilim united around a common purpose, we can unite around causes that promote justice and equity. Let's think about some practical ways to implement this change in our daily lives. How can we, in fact, act to ensure we leave a positive legacy? One way is to get involved in our communities. Participating in volunteer actions, supporting local businesses, or even offering our time to help those in need are concrete ways to make a difference. Change begins at home, and every small gesture counts. Furthermore, we can educate ourselves and others about social issues affecting our communities. Knowledge is a powerful tool, and by spreading information about injustices and inequalities, we can mobilize a movement for change. Just like the Nephilim, who transmitted valuable knowledge among themselves, we too can share information that can help inspire action. Another important aspect is conversation. Talking about our challenges and the ways we can overcome them is essential. We need to create a safe space where we can openly discuss our concerns and seek collective solutions. It is through dialogue that we can unite our voices and build a stronger, more supportive community. The responsibility of legacy is not a simple task, but it is a worthwhile journey. Every step taken towards a more just future contributes to building a world that respects and values the dignity of all beings. As we reflect on the Nephilim's prophecies, which urge us to look to the future with hope and determination, we must remember that we are capable of great things when we work together. Reflecting on the Nephilim's prophecies inspires us to face the future with hope and determination. We must remember our capacity for great things when we work together. Our collective actions can shape a future where kindness is celebrated and compassion becomes intrinsic to our human experience. The Nephilim, with their stories of rise and fall, remind us of our existence's fragility and the importance of acting with wisdom and purpose. We must be aware that, like them, we play a role in this unfolding narrative. I invite you to imagine what a positive legacy could mean for you. What small or large actions can you take to make a difference? Sometimes a moment of reflection is all we need to realize our potential impact. Allow yourself to dream of a future where generations to come see a world built upon solidarity and love. Thus, as this journey into the Nephilim's prophecies concludes, we are invited to reflect on the legacy we wish to leave. May we be inspired by these stories, not just to seek knowledge, but to act so our time here holds profound meaning. May we be the Nephilim of our time, not giants of strength, but of compassion and understanding. The future is in our hands. It is our responsibility to shape it with care. Good night. The 10th Nephilim prophecy, speaking of intention's power, resonates deeply in a world where many voices rise, yet not always consciously. The Nephilim, with their broad and profound vision, teach that intention is not just a passing thought, but a creative force shaping our reality. Every action, every uttered word, carries the seed of our intention. This seed, nurtured with focus and clarity, can blossom into realities often beyond our imagination. Imagine for a moment the power of pure intention. Waking each morning, we make choices. How we relate to the world, others, and ourselves is shaped by these intentions. If we begin the day intending to spread kindness and compassion, this affects our mood and echoes into the lives of those we encounter. The Nephilim remind us that, like a stone creating spreading ripples in a lake, our intentions reverberate across long distances, affecting lives in unforeseen ways. This prophecy invites us to look within and ask, what is my intention? What am I truly seeking in this life? Each of us carries a unique spark, and recognizing it is fundamental to directing our intentions constructively. The Nephilim, in their wisdom, show that clarity of purpose is a compass guiding us amidst confusion. When clear about our intentions, we are less prone to distraction by irrelevant paths or swayed by external influences. The compass that guides us amidst confusion. When we have clarity about our intentions, we are less prone to being distracted by irrelevant paths or led astray by external influences. At this point, it is important to consider the nature of intention. It is not just a simple declaration of desires, but a deep understanding of what we truly want and the impact our choices have on ourselves and on the world. The Nephilim teach us that intention must be accompanied by action. It is not enough to just desire something. We need to act for these intentions to manifest. It is in this space between intention and action that we begin to see true magic happen. What happens when our intentions are completely aligned with our actions? It's as if we create a perfect symphony where each note fits harmoniously. When we act according to our intentions, we become agents of change in our lives and in the lives of others. This is the essence of the Nephilim's teaching, the ability to be the architect of our own reality. However, it is vital to remember that intention should not be selfish. True intention arises from a place of love and compassion, not from desire or ambition. When our personal desires serve a greater purpose, we are aligning our lives with a universal flow that connects us to all things. The Nephilim encourage us to see beyond the individual, to consider the collective, and to act for the benefit of all. As we reflect on this 10th prophecy, we can also consider the responsibility that comes with the power of intention. If we have the capacity to create reality through our intentions, we also have the responsibility to do so consciously and ethically. Our intentions can affect not only our lives, but also the lives of people around us, the environment, and even future generations. It is a powerful reminder that we are part of something much greater than ourselves.
As we walk through life, we can begin to notice the moments when our intentions align with our reality. These moments are precious and often bring us a sense of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. The Nephilim invite us to cultivate these moments, to celebrate them, and to learn from them. They teach us that even in times of uncertainty and challenges, we can always return to our intention and remember what we truly value. Thus, the power of intention is not just a skill to be developed, but a way of being in the world. It is about living consciously, with an open heart and a focused mind. It is an invitation for each of us on our journey to become a channel of light and love, spreading positive intentions and creating a lasting impact. In a world that often seems chaotic and disconnected, the Nephilim's message about intention offers us a path of hope. It teaches us that, despite difficulties, we can always choose how to respond to them. We can choose to act with kindness, compassion, and love. We can choose to be beacons of light amidst the darkness, guiding others with our intentions and actions. As we come to the end of the 11 prophecies of the Nephilim, we are left with a feeling of responsibility and empowerment. Each of us has the potential to be an agent of change, to create a more just and loving world through our intentions. The story of the Nephilim is not just a narrative of the past, but a call to the future. A future where our intentions, when combined with conscious actions, can truly transform reality. The Nephilim's legacy is not merely a story of the past, but a call to the future. A future where our intentions, when combined with conscious actions, can truly transform reality. So, as we bring this journey to a close, we remember that everything begins with intention. And by cultivating these intentions with care and love, we can not only change our own lives, but also impact the world around us in profound and meaningful ways. Transformation begins within each of us, and by embracing the power of intention, we are taking the first step towards a bright future, a future where dreams become reality and where humanity advances in harmony with the wisdom of the Nephilim. Good night.